Hi everyone, this is Sharan here. Welcome to my channel. Today in this video, we are going to see about people who think they cannot learn to code, but they are really interested in data science. They want to understand if they have a future in data science. I often get approached by many people who are really interested in data science, but they feel that they cannot code. At least they think that they cannot code. Most of them have signed up for at least one programming course and they feel that they are simply not drafted to learn to code. Some of them even feel that they cannot write a single line of code. Trust me, before getting started into data science, I used to have the same feeling. I used to think that I don't have the ability to code. That's the problem with the fixed mindset. What you think is you think that you are good in doing only certain things. You feel that you don't have the ability to do certain things. But once you change your mindset from fixed mindset to a growth mindset, you will be able to appreciate what you can learn and what you can do by simply having the perseverance. There is no limit to what we can learn or what we can do. What matters the most is, are we learning things in the right way? If you still have a feeling that I'm going to show you a way to be a successful data scientist without learning to code, you will be disappointed. But what I will be doing is I will be showing you the exact method to learn to code. No matter what background you are coming from, whether IT or non-IT, like whatever be your background, like you need not have any programming experience, any coding experience, there is a way to learn programming. For a data scientist, there is no need to be an expert programmer. You are not going to be writing scripts that are very efficient. All you need to do is you need to know how to write a script in order to get things done, how to write scripts in order to do the data analysis, how to write scripts in order to build the model and evaluate the model, how to write scripts in order to do the data transformation and do the exploration. So for a data scientist, it is enough if you know just enough coding to get the things done. So I'm going to exactly show you how to learn coding in order to become a data scientist. The first step before getting to learn a programming language is to have an objective. The biggest mistake many people made before learning a programming language is not having a goal, not setting a goal for them. You need to understand why you are learning the programming language. You need to understand what you want to do. You need to answer certain questions like how you want to use the programming language, where you want to use the programming language, what results what you want to achieve using the programming language, what do you want to solve, what kind of problems you want to solve, what you want to learn in the programming language. For example, if I take Python as an example, Python can be used for a number of purposes. Python can be used for website development. Python can be used for application development, data analysis. It can be used for building the pipeline for a data science project. It can be used for machine learning, visualization, and so and so. There are many other things that you can do using Python. If you want to master Python programming language without having an objective, it is not going to be possible. You need to have an objective. You need to understand what you want to do using the programming language. Only then you will be able to learn what is required in order to achieve it. If you don't have a goal, then you will be going in the circles. You won't have an end result. You won't know whether you have learned enough or not. So you need to first understand what is your goal, what do you want to achieve, and then you need to come up with a plan. So as an aspiring data scientist, your goal will be just enough in order to read and write data from multiple sources. It will be just enough if you are able to perform data analysis, if you are able to work on different data types and perform operations on those data types. It will be enough if you are able to build a model and evaluate the model performance. So this is what is required for an aspiring data scientist. You need not write and most efficient or most standard code. It will be enough if you are able to get things done using a programming language, especially when you are starting your career. As you gain more experience, as you start using the programming language more and more, you will be able to understand about the standards that needs to be followed. You will be able to understand about the efficient way of writing things, getting things done. The second step is you need to choose a programming language that you want to learn. In case of data science, the options is very simple. Like a majority of them use either R or Python. I'm going to show you some of the advantages and disadvantages of both these programming languages, and then I'm going to help you with making a decision like which one you need to choose. If I take R, like R is a programming language that was primarily designed for statistical analysis and data analysis. It has many libraries that are especially very useful for data exploration and to run statistical tests. You can create a lot of stunning visualization using R. But the problem with R is it is not designed to be deployed in a production environment. If you have a data science problem where you need to do the data analysis or build a model that needs to be deployed in a production environment, then definitely R is not the right choice. It is not that R cannot be used. R, of course, can be used in order to write a script which can be put in a production environment, but you are most likely to end up with issues if you are using R. Why? Because like R is simply not created in order to put your models or put your scripts into a production environment. It is not designed for deployment. R is a language which is very easy to learn, especially if you do not have an programming experience. If you do not have any coding experience, it will be very easy to pick up R. But the issue with R is like once you advance in data science, once you want to build an end-to-end data science project, once you want to implement a complex data science functionality, it becomes very difficult to do things done in R. On the other hand, we have Python. Python is a general purpose programming language. The syntax is quite easy and it is readable. Python is designed for deployment in production environment. It is very easy to put the Python scripts into the production environment. Python is slightly difficult for someone from a non-programming or non-IT background to learn. It is slightly difficult while beginning to learn, but once you get comfortable with Python, it will be very easy to implement the complex functionalities. It will be very easy to implement end-to-end data science project using Python. So now coming to the question whether you need to choose R or Python. So based on my experience, when I started my data science career, I started with R. Almost 4 to 5 years back, I completely moved towards Python. Python has a lot of libraries which can do many statistical analysis. It can be used to run many statistical tests. The difference between Python and R is almost closing down. Like anything that you can do using R can be now done using Python. Might not be in the most efficient way, but still it can be used to get things done. From a long-term point of view, I would suggest to choose Python over R. Just because like many advanced data science concepts, many deep learning libraries and packages, it's available first in Python and it takes time to get available on other programming language like R. So if you use Python, like you will be able to access many advanced data science tools and packages much sooner as compared to R. So now, even before getting into learning the programming language, the next most important thing is being accountable. Like being accountable to what you are getting into. One way to increase your accountability is to share your plan to your friends and family. It will be much better if you can share your plan with your professional network. Like none of us would be happy to be seen as a failure by our friends or family or our network. So what happens is you are binded to achieve it. If you don't achieve it, you have a fear that you will be seen as a failure, like you will be seen as a loser who's not able to complete it. So by sharing it with your friends, family, as well as your professional network, you are sending them a message that you are going to achieve this. It helps a lot in tracking to the goal and achieving it as well. Many people stop learning something new just because of fear of failure. But when you share something with the larger audience, like the larger network, friends and family, you will be binded to achieve it. It increases your accountability. It's a simple technique that helps in improving your accountability and making sure that you stick to your goal. The next most important thing is choosing the right course that is most suitable for you. If you end up choosing the wrong course, it will be enough to bring your motivation down. If your motivations are down, when you start learning something new, it will be enough to stop you from proceeding forward. So it is really important for you to choose the right course that is most suitable for you. If you do not have any coding experience, if you are coming from a non-programming or non-IT background, I would strongly recommend you to first start learning programming from a browser-based platform. Code Academy is an excellent platform where you can learn Python programming on browser. You need not install any tools. Like, you can just simply use your browser whenever you have some spare time, like whenever you are traveling, whenever you do not have anything else to do. You can simply use your phone, use your laptop to just open up a browser and then start progressing, start learning something new in an interactive way. As you see on my screen, this is the syllabus for learning Python programming using the Code Academy platform. This particular platform covers all the fundamental concepts that is required in order to learn data science using Python. It covers all the functionalities of Python that will be commonly used in a data science project. It covers all the data types and everything that you need to learn in Python in order to get started with data science. So after completing the online course using the browser, like the online course using Code Academy, so then what you need to do is you need to start to learn, you need to build your foundation. You need to make sure that you understand programming much better. So now what you need to do is you need to scale up, you need to install the tools that is required. Just one tool that will be sufficient is Anaconda with Jupyter Notebook. Like, once you install Anaconda along with Jupyter Notebook, it will make sure that it installs all the dependencies that is required for you to just start with the coding. So as you see on my screen, this is Python for data science. This particular course here covers all the Python concepts that is required in order to become a data scientist. You will be able to learn all the concepts about Python, the data structures, working with the data. You will be getting familiar with how to create Python functions, like how to work on the data, like how to do various operations on the data, how to perform the data analysis. The syllabus here is quite comprehensive. Like, it covers all the concepts that is required in order to get familiar about using Python for data science. This course has been found useful by many people. Like, about 92% of people have found this course to be really useful. Also, about 15% of people have got some kind of a tangible benefit into their career after completing this particular course. So this is an very good one in order to learn Python programming for data science, especially if you are a beginner. So after completing these courses, like, many people would have a lot more confidence, especially after completing all the assignments, all the challenges that are part of the course. They would feel a lot more confident. But what would happen is, when they face the reality, when they try to solve a data science problem, when they try to put to use these concepts that they have learned in order to solve a data science problem, so that's where they realize that they are not able to use many of these concepts in order to solve the data science problem. What many people do is, many people try to just directly jump into a data science problem, and then they try to understand if they are able to use the concepts that they have learned in order to do or solve a particular problem. So that's when their confidence level drops down. They understand that they have wasted a lot of time in trying to learn something, but they are not able to put those things into use. So that's when people realize that they have not learned anything new, they have wasted time, and then many people drop off the plan of learning to code, or many people even think that they don't have the ability to learn to code, that they haven't learned anything useful over the last few days or a few hours, whatever the time they spent on learning to code. What is really important here is there are some strategies to help you and build your programming skills, build your confidence. So I'm going to exactly show you how to do it. So after completing the Python programming process, next what you need to do is you need to start learning from the templates or the scripts that are created by the experts. So what you can do is, I have provided reference to title notebooks which are well documented and can be used for your references. You can go through these scripts in order to better understand how these people have written the scripts, how Python is used for data science. For example, So this is an Python notebook which I have shared, which is very useful in order to understand the different concepts of Python programming language and how they are useful in data science project. You will be using a real data set, and then you will be able to understand about the different programming concepts of Python and how to implement it using some real data set. You will be able to understand how to clean the data, how to do the exploration, how to like concatenate data from different sources, like how to do analysis when you have different types of data, how to handle like missing data. You'll be able to understand like how to use libraries such as pandas, how to manipulate the input data that you have got. So this particular notebook is especially good in order to understand the programming aspects of Python using an real data. The second notebook that I have shared is this one, which is the comprehensive data exploration using Python. So here, this notebook focuses on doing the data exploration. So this particular notebook focuses on solving a real data science problem. They are not worried about making you understand about the different aspects of Python programming. The objective here is simply to explore the data, to explore the housing price data set, to extract the insights out of the data. This will be a good notebook in order to understand how you approach a data science problem, like what kind of analysis you do in order to extract the insights out of the data. So these two notebooks will give you a good understanding about how to use Python programming in order to solve various data science problems. The few things that you need to keep in your mind is, do not start with a script that is not well documented. Do not start with a script which seems to be quite complex. The objective here is to understand how Python is used for solving various data science problems in a simple way. To begin with, as an aspiring data scientist, you are not focused on how to get things done in a most efficient manner. All you need to understand is how to get things done. So once you gain experience, once you get into data science, you will be able to learn about doing things in a more efficient way. But if you are starting your journey, do not waste any time in learning to do things in most efficient way. Try to understand all the concepts end to end. Try to first get things done in a quick and easy way. So the next step is to learn from a project. So now what we have done is we have chosen a programming language. We have first learned the programming language using a browser-based platform. So then we have gone through a course, we have installed Python in our system, and then we have learned using Python for data science. We have gone through some of the template codes, the scripts which are written by experts, which are well documented to understand how Python is used in order to solve different kinds of data science problems. And then the next step is to actually pick up a project that is interesting enough to you. The projects that you find very interesting, and then to solve those problems by yourself. So here you need to work on a number of data science projects, different kinds of project, like different kinds of algorithm, different kinds of data sets. You need to understand like how Python is used on all those different aspects, like how to get things done. When you have data in certain format, what are all the various analysis that you should do, like how to do those analysis. If you have certain problem like unsupervised learning, a certain algorithm like maybe regression algorithm, how you usually approach the problem, like what kind of transformations you would do, how you use exactly Python in order to solve those problems. So then as you get comfortable, as you get more familiar with Python, what you can do is you can start participating in Agile competitions and other competitions. The other way to build your programming skills is to team up with someone so that you get to learn from someone else as well. Also, there are ways in order to improve your programming skills. What you can do is you can sign up for an voluntary project. DataKind is a non-profit organization and data science community that helps in solving various data science problems that has a huge social impact. You can work with various experts across the industries, and then you will be able to learn from these experts, and you will be able to get some real experience too. That will be very useful for your profile. So these are all the various ways where you learn by doing projects. So you are learning will improve as you do multiple projects, as you do many projects, data science projects. So what you need to do is you need to come up with small interesting projects, like different kinds of projects, so that you will be able to learn programming that is required to solve all those different kinds of project, and your programming skill will improve a lot at this particular stage. You will get more confidence. So the next one is, while learning to code, the important aspect is you should not forget to focus on your strength. Your strength, it could be problem solving. Your strength, it could be like a clearly communicating. Your strength could be your critical thinking. Like whatever be your strength, you need to focus on your strength while learning to code as well. Like many recruiters don't look out for like expert programming skills in data scientist, like or aspiring data scientist. You need to have just enough programming skills that will be enough for you. There are a lot of other skills that are required for a data scientist. For example, your problem solving skills, your communication skills, your ability to learn new things, your domain knowledge, your ability to learn and understand the business concepts quickly. So there are many aspects, like many skill sets that are required for a data scientist. Learning to code is definitely one aspect. So while learning to code, never forget about the other skills that is required. Always focus on your strength. Try to leverage your strength and learn enough programming that is required in order to become a successful data scientist. And the final one is, you need to have enough patience. You cannot become an expert programmer like overnight or in few days or few weeks. It takes time. Especially if you are coming from a non-programming background, you need to have enough patience in order to wait to gain all the experience that is required. How you can gain, like by working on like multiple projects. So you need to have enough patience, like to wait and then acquire all the skills that is required. So then there is no way to stop you. Like you will have everything that is required in order to be a successful data scientist. So that's it for now. I hope you would have learned something new. So if you are someone who are really interested in data science, and if you used to think that you cannot learn to code, think again. Like go through this video, go through the plan. This will be good enough for you to learn programming that is required for data scientist. I will provide the links to the courses as well as to the Python notebooks that I was talking through in this particular video, and this will be good enough for you to learn everything that is required in order to become a successful data scientist. So that's it for now. I hope you would have learned something new today, and if you like what I'm doing here, please give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. So see you in next video. Bye until then.